Hi, I'm Serena, and this is my co-host, Mike, and you're listening to Diapers and Deployments, Who's Got It Worse? The podcast that talks about all things military, the good, the bad, and the oh shit.
On today's show, we talk about Skill Mill's new telehealth program, why Brandon's never allowed to leave for work again, and why Serena's pool is better than Mike's. We also have special guest Melissa Washington from Women Veterans Alliance.
This podcast is supported by Skill Mill Corporation, helping veterans transition to the civilian workspace.
All right, Serena. So since you've been home, I noticed that, all your pictures have you in the pool and hang out with family. And, here I am stuck in the same old place doing the same thing. And you're just out partying every week. And you know what? I love you, but man, I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, it's wild. And I do love it because I'm an extrovert, unlike my husband, who is the introvert. But it has been nonstop for 7 months and I don't see it really stopping, but I enjoy it. I love being around everybody and, making up for lost time. I kind of feel like.
Well, you were gone for 20 years and now you're back with family and I know they love having you around and it's great to see your kids with, their cousins and everything. So I enjoy, I'm just kidding. I do enjoy looking at the pictures.
Yeah. Today was fun. I know you saw some photos today. I took the kids to a little farm and they got to go fishing and we have a pond in our backyard so they could fish whenever they want, but apparently fishing on a cane pole with worms is much better than, fishing with your spin caster catching bass in the backyard.
I went fishing Saturday, Serena, and, I took a picture of my daughter fishing and you're like, oh, that's the picture it's like Facebook, everything looks perfect on Facebook. But
right.
I took the picture and I sent it to my brother. I'm like, hey, this may look relaxing, but it's 100 degrees. There's no wind. And there's no fish.
Yeah.
So my fishing didn't go as well as yours.
Well, like I said, a cane pole and some worms. And my daughter caught a catfish and she caught a bluegill. And
oh my God.
Yeah, Keegan caught, he had something on his line, but it's a cane pole. So you got to be careful, he's yanking it out of the water.
Oh, I did catch a turtle.
Oh.
Yeah. And a heat stroke.
Yeah, it's hot down there, isn't it? I mean,
it's miserable.
We had 104 heat index last week.
It's, what they say, it's not the heat, it's humidity. It's true. It's like you're breathing water when you go outside. And
we got a break this week. It only was in the 80s this week.
80s, man. I would kill for some 80s. But you know what? I hate the wintertime. So give me the heat. Bring it on.
Right. I mean, I'm like getting sad. I've only owned a pool for 1 month and I'm already getting bummed out that we have to close it soon. Not soon, but in a few months,
My favorite part of my pool is me cleaning it every single day. And then my kids never using it. But you know what? You're new to this pool thing. So enjoy it.
I have to say, it hasn't been really like my mom. We had everybody over on Sunday to swim. And, we don't live in our house still because we don't have our household goods. A newsflash, still don't have goods. And my mom was like, have you been here at all this week? And I'm like, not really, just to put the trash out, whatever. And she's like, your pool looks awesome.
You must not have a bunch of trees around it or something.
We actually, our neighbors have tons of trees, but there's nothing's dropping in the pool. I mean, our skimmer works awesome. I mean,
you even have a better pool than me, Serena. This is BS right here.
I mean, I don't know. Is your salt water?
No.
Oh, I mean, that doesn't make a difference about leaves, but I mean, everything's been pretty easy going. Knock on wood. I had a horrible week.
Did you really?
I don't know if we're going to get into it, but I got a horrible week.
Hey, we might as well. Because right now I'm jealous. So, maybe you can make me feel better about my life this week.
Okay. Every service member and spouse out there can relate to this, but as soon as the service member leaves, all hell breaks loose at home, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Brandon had to go on a business trip and he is literally on his way, like on the road. They had to drive to Ohio. Is where they're going, to an Air Force base, actually. And I get a blowout flat tire in 104-degree heat on the highway with both my kids in the car during rush hour.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like out in the middle of Kansas somewhere, like where there's not very many exits on the highway, like there's like 5 or 6 miles between an exit. So that sucked. I sat on the highway for 2 hours waiting for tow service. Long story short, the tow driver I had another Navy spouse who's retired here as well, came to my rescue. Tow service came, took us off the highway, changed the tire. Great, whatever. Later that night, like midnight, I forgot to put my trash out at my new house. So my mom and I go there to do that. I took my house keys with me only. When I'm throwing my rubbish in the trash can, I put my house keys on the hood of my mom's car. so I wouldn't throw them in the trash. And then I just get in the car and we drive away.
Oh, great.
Long story short, I can't find my car keys. And it's like, here it is, like midnight. I can't find my car keys. And my mom's like, holy crap, you put them on the hood of my car. Let's go back to your house. Hopefully they're there. Thank God I only live like 5 minutes from my parents' house. They're not in the driveway. They're not in my street, nothing. So we backtracked the whole way because we went a different way. My keys traveled on the hood of my mom's car for like 3 miles. And
No way.
Yes. And I found them smashed into a million pieces in the middle of a busy street. Like, and it's midnight, so it's not that busy, but they got so smashed that like my house keys and my like regular keys, not my car keys, but they were like bent and twisted. It was wild. And my actual car key was in a bazillion pieces. Like I couldn't use it at all. And you know how expensive car keys are to replace?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay. So then like on Sunday, I park my car in my garage and my son gets out and goes to the trunk because he's going to help me unload groceries. And he's like, Mom, why is your car almost touching the ground? And I drive a Lincoln Navigator. So it's big, high up off the ground. It looks like I'm driving a G-Wagon, and I'm not talking about a Mercedes. This thing was literally, my air compressor went out. My car.
Oh, your air ride suspension.
Yeah. Yes. The air compressor for the suspension went out. And Brandon's like, what in the hell? New tire, new keys, new air compressor for my air suspension, all in 1 week.
Brandon doesn't need to leave you alone anymore.
No shit.
Hey, typical, just like you said, all the military families understand once the military service member leaves, it all breaks loose at home. Right.
So that was, 3 things in 5 days. I was like, I'm over it. We've spent $1,000 on my car. That could have been $1,000 I could have spent on new wallpaper or new furniture for my house or something. But no, I'm getting a flat tire and buying new keys and replacing the air pump or air suspension pump, whatever the hell it is.
Well, maybe my life doesn't suck after all, Serena.
Your life doesn't suck. I just had a shitty week. That's all.
Oh my God. Well, I do want to say exciting news for, any veteran and family member out there that we have officially launched telehealth for veterans, Serena.
Woohoo.
I know it's been so long, and we got exactly what we wanted. The program's amazing. So, we're going to start putting it out this week in some social media, just for friends and family this week. And then next week, we're going to do some email blasts and let veterans know that, hey, there's an alternative out there. You don't want to leave your house, pick up the phone, call a doc, get your prescriptions called in. And a lot of people right now do not want to leave their house. And us, when my daughter's sick, I don't want to drag her to the friggin' doctor because they never get sick, in the middle of the day. It's always 10 o'clock at night, and then you have to wait for an appointment the next day, and you have to take them out of school.
Right.
I can pick up the phone, and they're like, you know what? She's got a runny nose. Here's some medicine, pick it up at the pharmacy. I don't have to step foot in a doctor's office, and I don't have to have any copays. So I'm excited. Personally, I'm excited because I've wanted telehealth for a long time. Yeah,
that's great. I can't wait to do something like this because, like you said, I hate taking the kids out of school, and I hate it's just inconvenient all around. I got to leave work, take the kids out of school. It's just a lot of drama when I could just do it right there from my desk.
It is a lot of drama, and it always happens at night, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Nobody gets an earache in the middle of the day.
No. Or when you want a day off work.
Right. Yeah.
Well, hey, you heard it here. If your veteran's trying to miss work, tell them, no way. You got telehealth now.
Yeah.
And hey, they may even do doctor's excuses, but why would you need one, I guess? Well, I guess if your kid's got a fever, you don't want to send them to school. Pretty out the doctor's excuse.
Yeah, they can't do that anymore. They got to be barf free and fever free for like 48 hours or something like that.
Oh, yeah, because of the COVID.
Well, that's even before COVID. I don't know what the new COVID rules are. I mean,
they change every day.
I was about to say they change every day. Thank God my kids go private school. So like all that, they're like sticking to the old school rules. Well, I'm down with.
Someone gave me a nickname I love. All these silly things that are going on, and these people, they're called COVIDiots.
I'm like so sick and tired of it that I'm like, I don't even pay attention. Yeah, I don't even pay attention anymore. I'm like, whatever.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into the medical stuff on here, but
sure.
That's another thing, with telehealth. Honestly, if you call in and a lot of hospitals, you can't come in. I mean, if you think you have COVID, you could get online and get some of the therapeutics, that people are prescribing, if that's what your doctor wants. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't run telehealth. If they think that's right for you, then pick up the phone and they can, give you something, because a lot of people, they don't want you in the emergency room. They don't want you filling up the hospitals. And unless you're really sick, because one of my neighbors has COVID right now, they're not even seeing you. They're like, go home until you can't breathe and then come back and see us.
Right. I mean, and like you said, COVID or no COVID, the telehealth thing is pretty awesome just for the convenient level or like the convenient aspect. So, I mean, like COVID or not.
Right.
Well, if I can sit in front of a computer and talk to somebody, I'd much rather do that than get everybody in the car and go to the doctor.
Lose your keys, have a blowout, that stuff. You heard it here. Don't ride with Serena, first of all, and pick up the phone and call your doctor.
We have Melissa Washington with us today, and she is the CEO and founder of Women Veterans Alliance. So hi, Melissa.
Hey there.
Well, welcome to the show, Melissa.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Hey, rumor has it that you were also in the military, in the Navy. You're one of us, right?
Absolutely. I got a little sea salt there. Yes.
Hey, I know sailors that never went to sea, so I don't know if you call them sailors or not.
I don't know. I know a few. But for 20 years and never deployed on a ship. They might have stepped foot on it, but had to leave at the end of the day. So.
I'm just a little jealous.
And I can't believe that's even a thing.
I know. So how long were you in? What'd you do in the military?
So I joined in 1991 and I was a storekeeper. And my first ship I was on was the USS Scrapple, a rescue salvage ship out of Little Creek, Virginia, and did a 6-month Mediterranean cruise out of there. Yes. So, when you're like 18, 19, going to the Mediterranean single.
Yeah.
That was me. Hey, in 1988, I joined. And in 1989, my first ship in the Mediterranean, 6-month deployment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, not awesome, but it sounds really dreamy. Mediterranean cruise. I think of like a cruise ship.
Serena, I want to speak for Melissa here and tell you, it wasn't dreamy. Because it sounds like she was new like me. So I did a lot of cleaning. I don't know about you, Melissa.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I was on my best behavior so I can get off the ship.
Of course.
This may surprise you and Serena, but I have been a Liberty risk. But anyway.
Shocker.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you, Melissa. So what else?
No, that's fine. So I'm from California, and being stationed on the East Coast kind of wasn't my thing. And I was looking for opportunity to come back to San Diego. And my CEO said, you can, but you have to do what's called a swap. So mind you, we're in 1992, 93. There was no internet. There was no Google.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I had to go the old fashioned way because the criteria was I had to find another woman, equal rank and equal time left.
Oh,
it was a swap. So it was literally you're swapping. I found her.
Man.
I know it took a while, but hey, I was determined to find her. So I found her and went on board the USS Acadia destroyer tender out of 32nd Street in San Diego. And it was on there. And then probably about a couple of months I was there, we were on our way to a 6-month Westpac.
Aren't those so much better?
It's very, very different. Unfortunately, this time, so this is 1993, we spent Christmas off the coast of Somalia as we were supporting all the destroyers that were there, supporting all the efforts in Somalia at that time. So even though it's December, it was very humid there.
Yeah.
It's awful. And, CO wouldn't let us wear shorts or anything. It's just, you're just trying to do your best with, wearing dungarees or coveralls. So that was the other part was fine, going to the Persian Gulf, going to, Bali and Japan and Hawaii.
Well, in the submarine, it was always, sunny and 72 or something.
No sun.
Yeah, sunny. Yeah, right.
It's those neon lights or whatever they're called, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service. I know me and Serena talk about that. A lot of people say it, we mean it. So thank you. And that's awesome. And being a female veteran, right? Mm-hmm. Probably back then wasn't like it is today. So Thank you so much. And now what you're doing now, like, when did it start?
What led you to that? What led you to Women Veterans Alliance?
Well, let's fast forward 20 plus years, right? Okay. Having worked in corporate America for a long time, But one of the things, so this is 2014, I was looking for opportunity to network with other women veterans. Coming from corporate America, I do a lot of networking as well. And I couldn't find a group. I live near Sacramento, and I called around and they said, well, the VA has a support group. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And, and I was not interested in the traditional veteran organizations. That's just not my thing. So I started my own. I got about 20 women together at El Torito's in Sacramento, January 2015. And what started as, I like to call it as a hobby, it was just, hey, we'll get together the third Thursday of every month. We'll have dinner. We'll bring in a speaker. Then it just continued to grow and grow and grow to where we are 6 years later. It grew pretty fast. And I did not realize the need and the gap when it comes to resources and women feeling isolated, women not feeling connected, women not feeling that they're veterans. Until I started talking to women and listening and hearing, all these things like, oh my gosh, there's such this need for what I've created here.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So you started it for the right reason, and then it grew into a business, because of your passion.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, but if I would have put business plan together at that time, I probably wouldn't have done it, because I would have looked at all of them like, it's probably not going to work.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not going to make money for a long time, but let's do it.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So trying to find revenue sources to continue to do what we do.
Well, a lot of veteran companies go through that in the beginning, even us. You don't have a lot of revenue. You want to do the right thing for the veteran though, right? And if you do that for long enough, and the revenue will come, but you're going to go 3, 4, 5 years and you're just not going to make any money. That's just a fact when you start something like this. So
absolutely. You. So you got to be ready. You got to be ready to personally deplete your savings, refinance your house, do whatever it takes to keep her going. Because I'd already jumped to the deep end. I wasn't testing the water. I was already there. I couldn't get back now.
Yeah.
So it's been worth every second that I'm able to help and transform other women's lives. I mean, it's very transforming.
I'm wondering what exactly you do.
That's what my question, like get into detail of what are you doing to provide for these women veterans? I know it's networking, but what's the nitty gritty?
Absolutely. So just overall, then I'll get into the nitty gritty. Some people ask, what do we do? We're connecting women with each other and resources. I mean, we're filling that gap when she transitions out, whether she transitions out yesterday or 20 years ago, there's still such that gap of connecting each other and all these resources that are out there, and where do they go? So we become that connector, that hub. And we do that through our website. We have an awesome website.
What's that address, if you don't mind?
WomenVeteransAlliance.com. Actually, you can just Google Women Veterans Alliance, and I 100% guarantee you we're coming up. Actually, you can even Google Women Veterans as we come up now on the first page.
Oh, that's good. That's some good Google searching.
Yes, because I feel it's very important for us to be there, because that way, when someone's looking, whether it's, woman veteran or someone that is helping her, we come up on that page so they can find us, so we can be that navigator, that connector for them. We're on all social media. Again, another way to connect with women veterans out there on all the platforms and ways, and making sure we're having, consistent content. We become that referral, that resource. We also have an allies directory. And what the allies directory is, it's organizations where their predominant focus is women veterans. And it's on our website. You just click on directories, click on allies. And these are women veteran organizations throughout the U.S. They add their information. And it's just a great way, again, for us to connect them with other women veteran organizations in their cities. So we've got that. Also, we have another directory. We have the only online directory for women veteran-owned businesses.
I'm looking at that right now. That's pretty cool. I took a little peek at your website. I see that.
Yes. So we have that. A lot of times people will call and say, hey, I want to do business with a woman veteran. Do you know a woman veteran that does this? I have no idea. So we create this directory for women to come on, and then they can add their information onto the directory. We also have, of course, a store, and we have our own jewelry line, which I actually have on here. We have our Lady Veteran jewelry line, which comes in necklaces and bracelets. We, of course, have shirts and hats and a lot of stuff we've created, because of what I find, if you go to the exchange, it's usually the spouse, right? The military wife shirt.
Yeah.
In the women's section, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what can we have that's more feminine? Yeah, it says veteran, but sometimes just having the word veteran, it's not even enough for a woman to wear that, because still there's that assumption that it's the husband's shirt. Even if it's an Army shirt, it's sometimes the assumption you can even wear veteran. So it's so important. Sometimes have to put the word women before the veteran on there.
Yeah, we've talked about that on the show before. I mean, it's an assumption made by many that if you walk into a restaurant and ask for, a military discount, they just assume that the male is the service member and the female is the spouse. And that's just not the case. I mean, you can't assume that. So many women are serving. And we talked about the VA too. The VA's come a long way in helping women, with a lot of their medical issues in the last 4 or 5 years. And there's still a long way to go, honestly, to help our female veterans.
Mhm.
Absolutely. If you look at our population, we're about 2 million. Our population is increasing year over year. So, if we don't have services and resources for women veterans today, how can we have them for next year when women are, continually more getting out of the military, and looking at just our active duty population, our reserve and guard population. And of course, having the VA, keeping up with women veterans needs, but also too, another thing is women veterans need to use the VA. So you can complain, hey, well, the VA doesn't have this, but are you using it? No. So it's just like, and I understand the challenges the VA has when it comes to staffing. It's like, okay, if you're a doctor, do you want to work for the VA or do you want to work at, Kaiser, your own private practice, right? So you have that, and then staffing, and then, with the women veterans healthcare at the locations, if not enough women are coming to get their gynecology needs or other primary care, then how can the VA staff it?
Right. Because it's expensive.
It is. So it's very important that we use it, or you don't have to use it. So I use both. My husband's retired, so I use our TRICARE, but then I also use the VA because I have VA healthcare and I'm also service disabled connected, but utilizing that and just using both. So it's just, that could be a whole other segment, just talking about that piece.
You said your husband was retired, so he was prior military as well?
Yes. He retired after 21 years from the Marine Corps, and that's where we met, right out of at an A school. I met him.
Oh, he's a Marine. He's a Marine. So you have a grown-ass kid at home then.
I do every day. I hope he doesn't hear, because you might see him pop up here. So yeah.
Well, I always tell people, the Navy, we're like adult supervision for the Marine Corps.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So that's how that happened. So, but we joke all the time because he was on, attached to ships. So, having that, if you're just in aviation or you're on land, it's a different Marine Corps experience than being on a ship. And so he gets it. I get it. So, yes. Yeah.
So I know that obviously this past 18 months, 2020, 2021 have not been the greatest, but does Women Veterans Alliance do any kind of in-person group events or anything like that?
Absolutely. So we do both. So we, being here in Sacramento, of course, this is what we call the mothership, because this is where it happens and we're very dialed in. So we do still actually meet up on the third Thursday of the month. And so what we're doing, of course, during COVID was doing it online. So this is our third in-person meetup.
Oh, wow.
So is this nationwide, or is it just in Sacramento? Or
we're a nationwide organization. We serve women actually globally, because we still, if women are on active duty, stationed. Yeah. So we are nationwide focused as far as the in-person stuff. Since I'm here in Sacramento, we do in-person stuff here. But we also have our annual signature event, which is called the Unconference. Our sixth one is coming up in Las Vegas in October.
Oh.
Spouses come, we get caregivers, just others that want to, learn how to better connect to the women veteran community that come for an amazing 3-day weekend.
So what do you do at this unconference?
They drink.
Well,
they drink.
Yeah, that does happen.
Especially in Vegas. I mean, come on.
They can't tell you what they do, Serena.
But on a serious side, and we've had previously wine tasting class.
Oh,
so
cool.
So the weekend is, a lot of the traditional breakout sessions, you got the general speaker, but what makes us different is we provide kids care, which is such a barrier for women, not just single women, just women in general. It's like, where do I keep the kids? They can bring the kids. They're close, but not too close.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We feed them activities. We also bring in horses for equine therapy. Previous years, we've been on a golf course. So we had brought in a golf pro to do some golf lessons. We bring in massage therapist, makeup, hair.
Wow.
We do professional headshots.
Serena, we got to get into this.
Yeah, that's awesome. The headshots, that's a huge one. I hate when people are like, you need a headshot. Oh, just go to the drugstore and get a passport picture. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like you need a professional.
We do everything. I've designed it to think of, especially as women, right? If I had something, if I had time, I would do this. If I had time, I would get a massage. If I had time, I would get a flu shot. We bring in the VA because where it's usually in fall. So they bring in their flu shots. So women, they bring the VA van and women can get their flu shots. So another great way to, just to get those things checked off your list. We have a painting class. This year we might do a mixology class, a dance class. We also award our small business award, which I'll talk about there. We have a party. There's just so much that happens. We have a new clothing boutique, which is very, very important that it's new clothing. I mean, yeah, it's great to get used clothing, but I kind of just, that wears on me when people want to donate their grandma's bag of clothing past to women veterans.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, donate. I mean, if you want to donate new clothes or give gift cards for Macy's or something, it's just, to me, it's belittling the sacrifice that we've made. So we have brand new clothing. I mean, they're very nice clothing. And we have stylists that style them too, so they could leave with all the brand new clothing.
Well, I think Serena needs to go for the weekend. I'm not going to go, but Serena, next year, it's all you.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd love to check it out. I mean, number one, who doesn't want to go to Vegas? And then I love talking to people and meeting new people, networking. I would love to do something.
I know you guys could have a table. We have a whole exhibitor area, sponsor area.
Let's get on that.
And maybe we could just do a podcast from there.
Hey, you could. See, there you go.
That would be cool.
Go ahead.
So go to our YouTube channel, and right when you go to YouTube, the video will play. We have a video from a couple of years ago on there, and that's pretty much you'll get the gist of what happens at our event.
Well, so me and Serena are starting the YouTube channel here shortly. That should be fun. We'll have to comb our hair after that, Serena.
I know. No more laying in the pool before I do a show, right?
Well,
no, that's not what I was doing today. I promise.
We don't want to hold you up, but I do know that you have a nonprofit. I want you to spend a few minutes talking about that before we let you go.
Absolutely. So I started Women Veterans Giving for a couple of reasons. One is we need more women on boards, and this is a great opportunity to give women opportunity to serve on a board on which they can utilize, going forward. Maybe they want to serve on another board. At least it gives them some experience of them that they can put on their resume. And also too, there's such a gap when it comes to having funding specifically for women veterans. Me being a small business owner, you borrow, you do all these other things. So we created a small business award that we give out, and it's to a woman veteran to start or expand her business. To date, we've given over $10,000. This year, hopefully we'll give 5,000. We don't have any major sponsors. So we're very grassroots as far as money we raise to be able to give to women. And we give her the check right there. So I always let the women know, the finalists, have your bank app on your phone, because you can deposit that check right when we hand it to you there. And it's your money to use how you need to use it. So we've had some great success stories, from the previous women that have won. And also another program is we provide scholarships for women to attend our conference, but also other conferences, as I feel it's a great way to help women get integrated back into their communities and sending them to conferences. So we also raise money to help women get there. And that's our main purpose of our nonprofit.
Well, awesome. Thank you for everything that you're doing for our female veterans. I appreciate it. I know Serena appreciates it.
I do.
Thank you for coming on the podcast. I hope you had fun. We had fun.
I did. It goes by so fast.
It does. See, and the last thing I want you to tell us is how do we get involved? Like, if I am a female veteran, how do I get involved? Or if I want to give money, how do I get involved?
So you can go to Women Veterans Alliance, and you can click on the, subscribe to our newsletter, follow our social media. Again, just type in Women Veterans Alliance. And also on Women Veterans Giving, we have a donate button. You can donate one-time donation. You can do reoccurring donation. So any opportunity there.
Okay. So if you're listening, recurring is always better.
Absolutely. Oh, and we also have the roundup feature where you can choose one of your debit cards. So if you say it's like $5.63, it'll round it up to the dollar, and we get the change.
So that's cool.
That is cool. I use that for my youngest child for savings. Like I round up, and it adds up pretty fast. It's actually you never miss it, and it's great. I'm glad you said that. That's a great way for you guys to raise money.
Absolutely.
But thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. And we look forward to everything you're going to do in the future to help our female veterans. And we'll talk to you next time.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you. Once again,
I know.
learning something Nothing new.
Well, it's a great organization, and we talked about females and female veterans on the show before, and it's nice to see that, there's people out there that care enough. And she started the business, and I know she lost money for a while. She's too humble to say that, but when you
Yeah.
first start out, and she did it out of passion. Well, she did kind of mention she emptied some bank accounts or something, right?
Yeah. Refinanced her house and emptied her savings account.
Yeah. So you know what? Good on her. And I'm just another organization that helps our veterans.
Yeah. So all those women veterans that are listening to us, you need to go check them out, start networking, and maybe donate a little bit if you can, because you were in these shoes before with these women.
And they are
transitioning.
They are launching a magazine in January. I know we had talked offline a little bit, so the information for that will be on their website. But I don't want to go without saying, Serena, they give flu shots, drink wine, and get massages in Vegas. So I don't see a problem. I like.
I mean, hook me up.
Serena's going to Vegas.
Yeah, I need a beverage and a flu shot. What you drinking?
I tried this bourbon. It's Legacy, and it's not horrible. It's not great, but it's brown. It tastes pretty good, and it's kept me married for another couple weeks. So
well, that's nice.
How about you?
So my brother and I did an experiment about a month ago where we made these cocktails called Stoli Dolies. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay. So there is this restaurant called Capitol Grill. I don't know if it's just like a regional restaurant or if it's all over the country. I mean, it's probably all over the country, but they make these like $15 martinis called Stoli Dolies. And it's where they marinate pineapple and vodka for like a month. And then it's just shaken and poured. You can either have it on the rocks or in a martini glass, right? But it's $15 for one of them.
It sounds a little foo-foo for me, but.
Yeah, probably so. But my brother's like, to hell with that. Let's go to Costco and get some pineapples.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. So he gets some pineapples and he buys a couple handles of vodka, and we made our own batch and we just got to try it.
How was it?
Delicious.
I
so
love
good.
Costco.
Yeah. So, and like literally, I think like the pineapples cost $15. We got like 3 or 4 of them. And then he got 2 handles of vodka. I don't know how much that was, but it literally made like a huge, gigantic, I don't even know how many gallons this thing is of Stoli Doli mix, but they are strong. So you can have like, I can't drink more than just a little martini glass of it, or else I'm going to be lit.
Oh, so, it actually sounds pretty good. I normally don't like foo-foo drinks, but I'm okay with vodka and I like pineapple. So
I was going to say, if you like, it's not a sweet drink. So like, if you like vodka, then you'd like this drink because that's basically what it's just a martini. Do you drink dirty martinis or anything like that?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah. So it's like that, but with a vodka martini is basically it with a little hint of pineapple.
Oh, well, you're talking about experimenting. My daughter came home 2 days ago. She goes, Dad, we're doing a Bloody Mary contest. She says, can I make some different Bloody Marys for you to try? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Can I get invited to that party?
So, hey, maybe I'll review her Bloody Marys on the next show.
Heck yeah. I love a good Bloody Mary any time of day, morning, noon, or night.
I do too. And you know what? If you're on an airplane and it's 6 a.m., no one's judging. No one's judging.
Nobody judges you once you step foot in the airport. There's no more rules. Thanks for listening to this episode of Diapers and Deployments, brought to you by Skill Mill.
Go to skillmill.com to check out our blog and create an account. You can also find us on social media. Let us help you find your next career.
Don't forget, that's skill with 2 L's and mill with 1.
Until next time.
Ciao.